Hi everyone, this is Jessica with Whispers of Grace. I have been really compelled today to join in here live, not doing my normal readings, but just trying to catch up with everyone, spread some messages of healing, and um, just to kind of converse with everyone about um, what you need clarity on. There have been a lot of lessons going around, a lot of big changes for everyone, and I just felt really compelled to reach out to everyone today and see if anyone needed answers of healing. So I'm going to give it a few minutes to see if anyone will jump on. I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about, things that I've been noticing as well. So, a lot of the big lessons that have been happening for me right now is changing the course of my life, changing the patterns in my life, really getting to know myself on a spiritual level, and really coming from my heart space instead of reacting out of fear, and um, having control over the outcome. I've always, as a Taurus, needed to feel really stable and grounded, and um, really needing to know what the outcome was going to be. And instead of realizing, and I mean, it's happened my entire life, but to really know that there are a lot of people who come in and out of our lives for certain reasons. When certain people do not, or even just situations in general that don't align with our path anymore, it starts getting filtered out by spirit. And these situations or these people that we come into contact with that are being shifted out, we usually have a very emotional attachment. And that's exactly what it is. It's an attachment. The attachment is needing someone else to fill the void within ourselves, to need human validation in order to give us a purpose. And that is not the case by any means. We are in control of our own lives. We have the choice and free will to decide what we will put up with and what we will not put up with. If certain things are not aligning in your life, I just ask you, why are you scared to let go? What is holding you back from choosing a more enlightened path? And with that, I really encourage you to dig deep within yourself and figure out, how do you want to feel? And if you want to feel happy, excited, passionate, driven, prosperous, abundant, are any of those emotions lining up with your life right now? And if they are not, what can you do as a spiritual being to move forward, okay? And how can we manifest that into our lives? So there's a couple ways that we can do this. We can take self-evaluation. We can focus on ourselves and figure out, what we can do for ourselves and our soul to progress into a state of being and a state of havingness. We can write manifestations. Doing positive affirmations, okay? Like, I actually have 2 different lists that I read every single day, and there's probably more that can go onto it. Usually with most people, we have this attachment to the outcome. So with that being said, like, okay, money's popping into my head right now. For those of you who are really focused on abundance on a material level, I just want you to know that, okay, yes, we need enough to survive. But when you're trying to get more and more and more and more and more, you're on this endless quest of reaching something that might not be feasible and might not align with your life. And that's okay. There is a time where you have to kind of step back and say, you know what, I'm not where I want to be right now, and that's okay. I might have fear around my financial situation, and that's okay. But I now allow abundant opportunities to flow into my life, and I allow myself to recognize those abundant opportunities so I can move forward and take advantage of those situations as well. So, what a lot of it is making sure that we are working on ourselves in a way that we can truly align with the path that we want. If we want happiness, abundance, prosperity, and we aren't feeling whole on the inside, those things aren't going to come. You're going to be fighting against the current, and instead of allowing the universe to work with you, okay? So um yeah, I mean, and especially with people in general, I just ask that, if you find yourself in situations where people are either putting you down or projecting, ask yourself, and I mean, and I guess it's being really honest with yourself too. Like, a lot of people can say, I want to be better than I was yesterday. But what steps are you taking in order to necessarily be better than you were yesterday? And are you truly learning the lessons as they come to you? So, like, for me right now, a lot of it has to do with people shifting out of my life. And, my group has significantly gotten smaller, but at first I was like, oh man, what am I going to do? I went from this big group of people that I really, really care about, and I still do, and I want them to be a part of my life, but I also don't want to force someone to be in my life if they choose not to be. And all I can do in that point is wish them their best. I'm still here for you, but I'm not going to chase you either. I will not chase anyone else to be in my life. And if those people aren't aligning with my path, then they will be filtered out and new people will filter in. And I'm already starting to see that. People that are truly aligning with my purpose and spreading messages from spirit. This is why I'm here. This is my duty to spread love and light and to spread the knowledge that I have learned and give it to you guys so you can have just as much of a chance as we do, because we are on a spiritual journey just like you. And this is about sharing, and vulnerability keeps coming up for me too. And I think it's really funny because I've never been good at public speaking. Why I feel comfortable on camera knowing that people around the world are seeing me made me a little nervous at first. And when I realized that people literally from all around the world, I mean, down to Greece and Afghanistan and Europe and all these other, it blows my mind how many people actually resonate with Whispers of Grace. And, I was hoping for this kind of outcome, And I hope it continues to build. I hope that there are people who see my videos and understand that what I'm putting out is of nothing but love. And I'm not in competition with anyone. I am so glad that there are other people out here doing their light working abilities, because what may not resonate with my readings for you, there's going to be someone else that does. And between watching the different people and getting those different aspects, you're able to put the pieces of your life together that actually resonate on a soul level, okay? And, I mean, it's one of those things, like moving on. I've been in my hometown, my state, my entire life. And as many times as I wanted to run, I've never actually taken the leap. But with certain circumstances that have happened recently, it's becoming even more clear exactly where I need to be. Now, what that actually looks like, I'm not sure, but man, am I ready for the ride? Like, I mean, I just keep moving until I find what resonates with me. And with Erin, who I work with at Bridge to Avalon, she's teaching me a lot of things that I need to know in order for my spirit to evolve. But it's everything that I learn. There's so many different aspects of spiritual healing. And, um, you know, if it doesn't resonate with me, it's okay. And it might resonate with someone else, and that's part of their path. But I'm taking what I need and what my guides are telling me to focus on in order to move forward. So I really hope someone hops on. I would really love to do some readings, but I just wanted to reach out and let you know that I'm here, and if anyone would like a reading, I'm absolutely game. I am actually going to share this on my Facebook so we can see if we can get more people on here. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, please let me know. And it's really one of those things that if you have to trust where your guides are leading you. If you have been stuck in situations that have been really tough on you, and you keep seeing this same pattern over and over again in your life, you need to ask yourself, what can you change about your situation in order to change the pattern, okay? A lot of it is changing patterns, and sorry. Oh, hi. I see someone watching. How are you doing? So I'm just kind of talking, but I'm channeling messages from Spirit today. If you would be interested in getting some answers of healing, I have some decks laid out if you want me to pull some cards for you, or if there's someone on the other side that you're looking to connect with. Any moments of clarity, whatever you need, I am here. Or if you just want to chit chat, that's what I'm doing. So I'm just trying to share. And if you know anyone that would be interested in this, please share with them so we can get more people in here. But I was just talking about letting certain cycles in our life, going with the flow instead of fighting the current, and allowing spirit to guide us in a direction, and how certain patterns in our life keep repeating themselves, yet we're not really sure what to do in order to move on from those cycles, right? And it's just, there's so many things that go into it, especially if it's karmic and tied to past lives and that kind of thing. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, and it's more about faith. It's more about trusting that your guides are leading you in the right direction, that, you know, things that no longer serve you are lessons to be learned, and, you know, learning from those mistakes so you don't make the same mistake again. And trust me, I am being tested left and right. So if that makes any sense to you, I mean, I see someone watching. If you're in here, please say hi. If you can hear and see me, okay, please let me know. Hi, Desiree. How are you doing today, lovely? So I'm just doing some channel messages. I also have some cards out if you're interested. If you know anyone who would be interested in getting a reading today, yeah, just let me know. I have the fairy deck, the archangel deck, talking to heaven, the universe has your back, and my traditional tarot. So if you have a certain question in mind, just let me know. If you have someone who might need to see this as well, please share. Please share. You can share this with anybody, as long as they are open to messages from spirit. But yeah, just let me know what you would like. I'm doing okay. Well, let's see. Let me share this real quick. Trying to get this. Will my health improve? Okay. So we can see what comes up. Let's see. Let me share this video real quick. Let's see if that will get us more people. Okay, so Desiree. Oh, okay. So you do have the Hangman that popped out. Dear Spirit, what can you tell me about Desiree, and any guidance that you can give her on her health, or what she needs to move forward to. Okay. What's your sign, Desiree? I do have the Queen of Cups that's popping out. Okay. And I also have the Queen of Swords, Desiree. So if you're water or air. Okay. So okay. Well, let's see. So you might be stuck in limbo with, I do see a water sign here with the Queen of Cups. This could either be someone that you are dealing with, or someone more of the emotional side of you, and maybe you're having, I'm almost hearing issues with emotional baggage. And, the Hangman is all about seeing things from a different perspective. You do have the Seven of Swords here and the Two of Wands that's followed by the Queen of Swords. So, I mean, you are at the end of your spread. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, I kind of feel that, you know, it's coming down to being quiet, allowing things to roll the way that they're going to roll. Um, if it is your emotional situation and not someone that you're dealing with, it could be that you're having some contradictions with maybe perception of how your emotions are writing and how your emotions are fed into certain situations is what I'm picking up, especially with the Seven of Swords. Um, you know, you might kind of be one of those people that are like fight or flight mode, and you're definitely going through a personal growth. You're going through a lot of changes that it's going to lead to a new creative ideas and actions for you. It's You're going to be able to make your choice and know that you have the world at your fingertips. And this is going to give you the clarity to cut the ties with anything that does not serve you or your higher purpose. And especially with the Queen of Swords, I mean, this is someone that could be a little bitter, but you know, the Queen of Swords to me, I always take as cutting out the bullshit, okay? Cutting ties with anything that is too dramatic, that, you know, um, that's not aligning with your purpose is what I'm seeing. And honestly, if you are having health issues, some of these blocks can come from that. Hi, Scott. How are you? Thank you for joining us. I am doing channeled messages or pulling cards if you would like to know anything. But yeah, Desiree, I honestly think that some of if it's not emotional health issues and it's more physical, that it could be from the emotional contradictions that you're having. If you're wanting love but constantly keep finding toxic things or toxic people, you know, you're gonna find these attachments onto your physical body and your soul that are going to start weighing you down, and it really causes a lot of blocks. I would suggest getting Reiki sessions. They will help kind of yeah. And it usually happens like that, but especially if it is more on an emotional level and the way that you're thinking about things, it can cause this vicious cycle. And really, so the way that it's been explained to me is when you go through traumatic experiences, whether it's your childhood, whether it's relationships, any type of ship, it can be friendships, parents, you know, significant others, whatever the case may be. But when you say, okay, heartbroken, or you're let down in certain situations, um, do I know the way to what, spaceman? That's a very broad question. But, you know, it's one of those things that we have, yeah, Scott, let me know what you want to know. No. I do not deal with negative energy, spaceman. I only do love and light here. So, there's nothing but positivity on this page. So, yes, Desiree. And it could be that you're stuck into this toxic situation, so therefore it's kind of feeding off of your soul. And yeah, I don't deal with negative vibes. I push that out of my life very quickly now without hesitation. I've gotten very good at that because I know what I deserve and I know what I want in my life, and I won't accept anything less. So that goes for my personal life and my business. If you are trying to spread negative vibes, you can get out. Um, but yeah, so staying in toxic situations can really not only drain our energy, but take certain pieces of our soul and our aura to, okay. I'm sorry, Spaceman, if you don't have anything nice to say, I will block you. This is your one warning, okay? If you want a message of healing, you're obviously in the right place. But if you do not, then I will ask you politely to leave. Um, yeah, it's gonna happen in about 3 seconds. I try to give everyone a little bit of warning, but trust me, it will happen. I will only warn you once. So, um, but yeah, it's when you stay in toxic situations, it really starts to drain your energy and really takes a toll on, okay. Um, anyway, when you stay in toxic situations, it draws your energy out. You are feeding other people your energy. So what this does is it starts to create blocks. If you ever notice that certain parts of your body, like, okay, for me, I hold a lot of tension in my shoulders and my neck. But a lot of people will gain knee problems, hip problems, migraines, those types of things. What happens is these people who, we call energy vampires, it's totally a thing. What they do is they start sucking out little pieces of our aura, and yeah, it happens, absolutely. And what it does is it really it starts to take little bits and pieces, and unless you do the research and get the treatments that are necessary, um, it will just keep getting worse. So you need to replace those energy fields where it is blocked and been taken out. Okay, so Scott, I'm sorry, Desiree, Scott, I got on a tangent there. Scott, are you still in here? Let me pull some cards for you. Yes. Okay. Oh, yes. Scott, I totally understand. It happens. You are so welcome, Desiree. And let me get Scott real quick. I'd love to chat with you a little bit more because I feel like me and you can really get some good messages going. So, Scott, what was your question again? You wanted to know about money, correct? Dear Spirit, what guidance do you have for Scott at this time? Yes, okay. Give me 1 second. Dear Spirit, okay. And I Alright. I feel like those needed to come out. Alright. Spirit. I just have you have some would you happen to be a fire sign or dealing with one? Internet connection's bad. All right, so money, 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 money for Scott. What messages do you have for Scott as far as financial situation, abundance? What do you have for Scott as far as finances, career? Yes, and Aries. Okay. So I definitely, okay, so we got the Knight of Pentacles. Let's see. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to stop right there because that's a lot of cards. But what I am seeing is you could be also having some emotional balanced issues, especially around your past. And because you do have the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Wands reversed with the Two of Pentacles reversed. And this is juggling too many things, you know, being really out of balance, trying to make career, family, life, and all these other things balanced out. But it could be dealing with possible soulmate or a really strong connection with someone in your past is what I'm seeing. As far as your overall energy, I do see, okay, if you are working with people in a group environment or thinking about it, this is what's going to bring you a lot of abundance, okay? You do have the Nine of Pentacles with the Three of Pentacles, and this is working group projects and having financial security. Now, you do have, as far as career and money, I do see, okay, so you have the Knight of Pentacles, and this is a very slow-moving energy, very grounded, working really hard on things that inspire you and bring you hope. But I kind of feel that you might be throwing yourself off balance and keeping yourself from stability in this situation, either because of a karmic situation not allowing a cycle to close with a possible air sign maybe. Someone who's pretty unpredictable, not as they appear, and your intuition's probably picking up on that, especially if you're working in group projects. But you know, slow and steady progress towards your hope and inspiration. Do not let fear of failure hold you back, because you do have stability here. I can see with the Four of Wands, this, you know, this is pretty structured, but the things around it kind of feel imbalanced with the Six of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune reversed. There's something that's holding you back, and I kind of feel that's more of you, especially if you're emotionally imbalanced and focusing on something in the past. Your heart and your mind are not fully in where it needs to be, because it's focusing on something else that happened that doesn't have anything to do with your career. And I feel like it's kind of blinding you from where you need to be. But then you have the King of Pentacles, and I feel like you might have to put in a little bit more effort and dedication into making whatever situation work. And it could be something that has, you know, the group projects like I was talking about earlier, because you have the Nine and the Ten of Pentacles, but you have to move from the Knight to the King, okay? So this is someone who is making deals, is very smooth with their words and confident in what they're saying, and severely grounded with the way that they want to move forward. This is someone who puts all of their effort into work. So if you were focused on a relationship that might have possibly ended, and you were juggling too many things, and you're probably I just keep hearing the word distracted, and that's probably why you're coming out as the Knight, and you need to be putting in the effort like the King in order to get the Ten of Pentacles. But it's absolutely there because you have the 9 and the 10 with the 3 of Pentacles, and I feel when you start working together and maybe taking on that King of Pentacles energy, putting all of your focus into your career and, you know, making a better life for yourself financially, being able to make deals with others and getting that the word out there and, you know, making those connections and networking, that is when the money is going to start rolling in for you, okay? I hope that makes sense if you're still in here. Sorry, that was kind of a rant. So, Desiree, you still in here? You're so welcome, Scott. I'm glad that you resonated with that. Yeah, it really is. That's the thing about, and Desiree, so since you're pretty much on my level too, have you noticed, and Scott, you'll probably benefit from this conversation as well, but I told my stepdaughters that boys are distraction. No offense, Scott, okay? But it is. Love is wonderful, and love can be very fulfilling. It can be, you know, a really great experience as long as we are whole on the inside. We need to work on ourselves so we can align with the people that really need to be in our lives. But if we're constantly attracting the negative people, they are distractions, and they keep us focused on things in the past that we can't quite deal with because we didn't get closure, and we're not able to focus on the things that we really need to focus on. Like for me, when I was going through my separation, it was, I mean, even before then, yeah, exactly. Thank you. I'm so glad someone else gets it. But yeah, it was one of those things. I couldn't focus on myself. I couldn't focus on my work. I couldn't focus on the family because I was so worried about what they were doing and not really sure like how to go about the situation, and so desperate on trying to save the relationship that I lost myself in the process. And so even though it was over, it still took me quite a few months to really get myself back. But now that I'm starting to feel better, I'm eating better, I'm, you know, exercising, doing yoga every day. You can't fill the void unless you fill it yourself, okay? That is the whole point. You can't fill the void with someone else. You have to really go within, do your research, find out what chakras are imbalanced, get the spiritual healing going, finding that love within yourself so you can start vibrating at a higher frequency in order to attract those positive people into your life. So with that being said, if you are not vibrating at a high frequency, you're going to attract low vibrational people. When you attract low vibrational people, those are the people that are distractions. If they're vibrating at the same frequency as you, and that's what you're attracting, if you do not feel whole and you are still trying to fill that void, you are going to find the scum that you have been finding and still not being able to fill that void because you're not whole yourself, right? So that's kind of what my whole journey has been. Yes, and I think that's just empaths in general. Yes, and see, okay, Scott, been years as a social worker. You see things that a lot of people don't see. So you're seeing the really hard side of life and the people that have truly given up and trying to make a better life for themselves and for their children, for their spouses. I mean, and I don't know if I should tell people's business. We'll just say, okay, I have dealt with a lot of addicts in my life, near and far, all throughout my life. And I have seen it so bad that friends of mine have had to go without AC in the summer, living in a trailer because of someone's addiction. I have seen kids getting taken out of situations that were all out of pettiness and didn't really have anything to do. I've had people who were had children, DSS comes and they have everything looking perfect, but in reality, they weren't giving their kid the attention or the support that they really needed. So there's a lot of things that go into that. And you never know what really goes on behind closed doors. I mean, everyone can uh, really spruce up a place, but especially if they know they're coming. Uh, yeah, that better things will come. You need to let go of the past. You need to understand that it was all for a reason. There is a lesson, and you need to, oh, yes, absolutely. Um, energy vampires, they're the absolute worst, and especially the ones who don't either realize that they're doing it or the ones who don't want to admit they're doing it but are fully aware of it. I think they're both just as dangerous. But I've had so many people that are energy suckers and they try to convince me that I have an issue or that I'm feeling a certain way and trying to create drama in order to get me heightened. And it's just like, but I don't feel that way. Are you wanting me to feel a certain way? Because, and then those emotions start going. But they do. They suck the life out of you, man. It's just terrible. The best thing that I can tell you to do in those situations, especially Desiree, you're working as a psychologist. And Scott, I don't know if you're still working as a social worker. You said you lost it all 7 years ago. So I don't know if you're talking about that as career wise or the relationship that you had when you were married. But um, it's yeah. Okay. So see, and again, Desiree, what you're doing is this is the conditioning that you've had since you were a child. If your mother is doing this to you as a grown fucking woman, you've been dealing with this your entire life. So what happens when we have been around narcissists and energy vampires our entire life? We end up attracting those because we think that's all there is, and we keep making excuses for these people saying, oh, well, no one's perfect. No one's perfect, but you can be a good person. You don't have to go around guilting everyone or making people feel less than or not good enough. You can be a good person and not tear other people down with through manipulation. Okay? So the fact that you have your boyfriend who's fully aware of what he's doing. Oh, Scott, I am sending you so much love and light right now. It, you know what? Um, yeah, Desiree, you gotta get out of that. Okay, so, Scott, I totally feel you on this, okay? I have so many things in my life are changing. I've lost everything recently too. I am very thankful that my family has been able to take me in at this point because I could very easily not have anywhere to go. Okay, I'm fully aware of that, and I think that's what led me to working with the homeless downtown. But because it did. It made me realize, especially when we were having a cold snap here, is like, oh my God, people are sleeping outside. And that could have easily been me, because I left with no money. I lost my family. I lost my marriage. I literally left with, like, I don't know, a couple hundred in my savings account that I need for my taxes, and just enough to scrape by. But it was, even my career has been shifting out of my life for some time. And yeah, I mean, I think we're all on the same page of that. But you know what the good thing is? So when you truly lose everything, and Scott, that just kind of shows you how distracted you are by the loss of everything, because with the Six of Cups that came out in your spread, you're still really focused and emotionally unbalanced because of this past situation, that you weren't able to focus on your future or your present. And that's one of the biggest lessons in them all. And it's one of those things, when things get pushed out of your life, it is setting you up for a better future. Okay, so you have to allow these things to move out of your life. Understand that it was, yes, and honestly, not even appreciating when you get it, but enjoying the ride, knowing that it will come, not how it's going to come, because that's one of my things too, is, you know, I keep saying, Spirit keeps telling me these things are coming, but how do I get there? I was driving myself crazy. No. You have to enjoy the process. The moment that I let go of how, then having the faith and being present in the moment. Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm so sorry. No, it wasn't. My phone just completely shit out on me. I'm so sorry. And this is exactly why I I switched phones, and I use this purely for recording purposes only, because the fucker dies at like 21%. It's crazy. So yeah, I'm sorry for all the crazy movement, but yeah, so okay. So where was I, Desiree? We were talking about okay. So that is not going to work. Let's do this. Okay, so I'm just going to talk to you like this. Okay, so yes, having faith, instead of worrying about yes, having faith, being in the moment. So, yeah, it's one of those things, because I was really like racking my brain over how to make things happen. Okay, I'm seeing this really long lag. Can y'all hear and see me okay? Okay. So yeah, it was one of those things, because again, like I felt like y'all did. I felt like I was losing everything. I lost all of my friends. You know, this big smear campaign was going on, and, you know, making me sound like I was crazy. And even though I didn't have any proof of what my intuition was telling me, I knew deep down, and I put it off for a really long time, trying to hold on for dear life, because I was so connected to this person, at least, you know, in my eyes. And I thought this was gonna be that forever thing, but it turns out that there is no such thing as a forever thing. That is purely human conditioning. The only thing that is forever is our soul. And that's why it's so important to take care of it. Because if we can't take care of our soul, any karmic lessons that we have not learned in this life, we will repeat next life. So that's why it's so important for us to take care of our souls now and stop allowing people to come in and take over our lives and tell us how we should feel. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's another thing. Okay. Yes. And that's the whole point. And then the other thing about soulmates that I learned, right? So soulmates that's exactly what they are. They're teachers. They're here to teach us things and teach us things about ourselves, teach us about our patterns, our boundaries, and all those kind of things. But what is the most important thing to learn about soulmates? Because I was having this conversation the other day, and I truly believe this because I don't think there's coincidence in this. Think about this. How many different stages have you been in your life, right? So, you're teenager, 20s, 30s, and so on and so on. Each decade brings a new sense of self or new thing about ourselves. And sometimes we might revert back to our old habits or, still dealing with that karmic debt and feeling really down about ourselves and all the conditioning that we've dealt with in our life to make us feel not good enough, right? So what I was talking about earlier about, taking care of our soul and letting ourselves attract the person that we are meant to be with. Yes, exactly. But the thing is when we are vibrating on a low frequency, that is what we attract. So the soulmates that are supposed to teach us those lessons are being attracted to us, over and over again until we start vibrating at a higher frequency. When we start taking care of our soul and our happiness, because how much of your life, Scott and Desiree, have you been so focused on everyone else that you never took care of yourself, that you never put yourself first? Or yes, exactly. And it's hard to say, especially when you're a good person and you're trying to do good things for others, and you're doing what is necessary to keep the relationship alive. But because you are not whole yourself, you're still attracting broken people, or damaged, I like to say. I don't like to think that anyone is necessarily broken. There's a lot of damaged people. But it is one of those things that when we really take the time to focus on ourselves and relearn those boundaries, get rid of the emotional patterns, the blockages in our life, and that kind of thing, we will be able to attract the people that are really meant to be in our lives for long term. But do I really believe it forever? Like, I mean, seriously, we were having, it was one of those, oh, shit. I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? Is that any better? My hand might have been over the speaker. But it's one of those things that we're going to keep attracting those people into our life until we become whole ourselves. And the one thing that I've learned about spiritual healing is it's never done. I don't think that anyone ever truly reaches. I mean, I'm sure it's possible, because I don't know if you've heard about people who like sun gaze and master Reiki and stuff like that. They have to reach a level of enlightenment. Oh, Scott, I'm sorry. I don't know. exactly what I can do. Scott, you might need to back out and come back in so you can see me. I have a question. Okay, so BB asked, I have a question to ask you. If we as human beings are connected to God and the universe, and we were to physically disconnect ourselves from that, how are we able to contact God and the universe? Okay. So, sorry about that, y'all. Okay, so BB, you're asking to physically disconnect. That's a funny question because you might think that you're physically disconnected, but you're not. You might be emotionally disconnected from God and the universe. And honestly, it's whatever your higher power is. For me, I believe in God and I have my own relationship with God, and I won't question that. But, everyone has their own belief. Yes, Tanisha, hi, how are you? But yes, it's all about intuition. And, you sit there and really ask yourself, everyone has intuition. Everyone has a gut instinct. Where do you think that comes from? I mean, really. If you have, have you ever witnessed a miracle? Where do you think that comes from? If you have been dealing with shitty things your entire life, where was your belief? Are you really going to sit here and believe that humans are the only thing in this world and that there is nothing else? Yes, exactly. The shit they're feeding us, the toxins that they put in our water, the toxins they put in shit, even toothpaste. Good, Scott, I'm glad you're back. But all of these things are to block our senses, to dull our senses. And that's why, and I'm not going to say anything because I'm still smoking, but since I quit eating crappy food, I went pretty much on a vegan diet and I'm doing yoga every day, going for a mile walk every day. And I mean, I'm trying to be as religious as possible with it. But I can tell you right now, I was feeling so clear after I quit eating meat. After I quit, yeah, absolutely. The visions became out of this world. I felt more connected to the universe than I ever have in my life, more connected to my intuition and my guides. And I hate to say this, and I'm not getting political. Don't even start political shit in here. But they know what we are capable of, and they are using. Hi, Brandon. Okay, and is it possible for you to meet? Okay. Yes, Desiree, it does get okay. So Brandon, okay. You know what? I'm gonna see if I can connect to, and I'm honestly gonna tell y'all this, and this is me being vulnerable. You'll take it as whatever. You can believe whatever you want to believe. I have connected to so many past loved ones, spirit guides, ancestors, all that kind of stuff. Even though I believe in God, I never really talked to him except for like actually being able to hear him back and all that kind of stuff until recently.
I did a full-blown meditation, and it was one of those things where it's like, okay, I hit another rough patch. I really need your guidance. I did a meditation, and yes, exactly. But feeling disconnected from the universe and God, okay? This is where your faith comes in. You need to be able to trust that yes, exactly. That's all it is. Praying is talking. And, that's the thing. I've had a lot of people say, oh, you're into this. What are the Christians going to think? And it's like, look, there's no difference with what I'm doing versus what you do. The only difference is I listen. I know that they will respond to me now. And it was actually quite interesting. So I'll tell you my story, Brandon, okay? And then I'll see if I can connect for you. I was doing a meditation, and yes, exactly. Faith is believing without seeing. And, you know, it's, there's so many things going on in the universe, and for him to actually come to me the way he did was absolutely mind-blowing. And I knew exactly who it was when it happened, but I still had a really hard time wrapping my head around it. And I think I wrote it down, but I'll talk about it until see if I can find it. So I was doing a meditation, and I was trying to meet one of my spirit guides, and I was really drawn to asking if God would step in. And and I'm looking at this staff, yes, a stag. It was a stag. Okay, so what happened? And I'll, because they're giving me a rundown of what happened right now. I'm getting the download. So, okay, as I'm walking up to the marble steps, and there's these great big columns. It was almost like Grecian, had this ivy growing around the columns, and just beautifully, just so beautiful laid out. And there's this, it was a big ball of energy. It almost looked like the sun, and I'm looking at all these iridescent lights and all the color spectrums of the sun, and there was a crystal grid that it was shining through, and it lit up into my soul. Like I could literally feel. Okay, so it was basically the universe feeding me the spectrum of light, okay? And as that was happening, I could see this stag coming out of the mist. And this thing was and I mean, of course, I'm redneck, so excuse me, y'all, but this thing had a rack like no other. This thing was huge, and it was, I would probably say it was like a 12 point. It was fucking massive. Okay, this thing stood up so straight and beautiful. You could see all the texture and the definition on this deer's body. And he walks up, and I'm like, who are you? I've seen a lot of animals, spirit animals in my meditations, but never have I seen a stag, especially like this. And it said, I am that I am. Right then, I knew that I was communicating to him. And as soon as he said that to me, it was like, I have a purpose. And he is here talking to me when he doesn't have to be, but I asked and he came. He delivered. And in between his rack, I saw this big ball of energy. And as it was spinning, it literally shot through my third eye and hit me so hard that my physical body literally went poof. Okay. I could feel it. And this light just drains through my body and said, "You're on a mission and you need to go spread my word. I have your back. Have faith." And I got chills coming up my body. And I think there was a little more to that, but that's really what it is. It's having faith in the universe and within him and trusting that whatever will happen, yes, everything is linked. So, I'm sorry, y'all. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna try to get this thing standing up so I can get... Brandon, are you still in here, love? I don't know if Brandon's... Shit. Okay. Sorry, my phone is acting such a fool. Okay, I've been trying my best to stick in there and not... Okay. No, hold on. Okay. Yeah, Brandon. Do not. And you know what? Let me tell you a quick story real quick. I have been in that same position before. I have had so many people tell me that I was not good enough or that I was this and that and whatever the case may be. And I have thought about taking my life several times. Did I ever think that I would be here giving spirits guidance? Absolutely not. But I remember that moment when I was literally contemplating how I was going to do it. And that was the first moment that it was really real for me. And I heard, "Get up. Get up. This isn't for you." And it's got to be better than this. And you know what? It is. Even though I still have a lot of karmic lessons to learn, there's a reason I am here today. And if I would have given up on myself all those years ago, I would not be able to sit here and talk to you right now. So take that for what it's worth. Let me see if I can get this set up so I can channel for you, because we really need to get you the messages that you need. And I think it's actually very interesting because I asked them for whoever needed to hear the messages today to be drawn to this video. So, okay, bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. Goodness gracious. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's try that. It doesn't help that I'm trying to charge my phone and... Okay, there we go. Oh, give my back a rest. Okay, Brandon. You are so welcome. Okay, good, Desiree. All right, Brandon, hold on for me 1 second, honey. Let me get connected for you, okay? Hold on for me. Just hold on.
Okay. So, Brandon, they're telling you right now, and you're probably going to notice a lot of things about me changing as this is coming out, okay? So, bear with me, and I swear I'm not crazy. Okay. So, do not give up. You are feeling disconnected because you are not grounded. You need to go outside, find a tree, put your bare feet on the ground, be able to surrender yourself unto me so you can feel my love. You have you have to let me in. I cannot help you if you do not allow me to help. You have to give me a chance. I know that you are hurting, and I know that you have been going through this disconnection, but I have never left you. I have always been here for you. The only thing is that you can't hear me because you are not grounded. Trust that I am here and I have your back. I've never left you. This moment that you feel disconnected, I have been carrying you this whole time. You are worthy. You are special and you have a purpose, my son, and you will come out. You will rise from these ashes and make something of your life. But if you give up now, you'll never know. Don't give up on me. Woo! I'm sorry. Okay. Um, okay, that was a really strong one. I have no idea what just came out of my mouth, so I really apologize if I'm sorry. It happens though. I have no idea what Spirit's gonna say. So Brandon, I hope that that helps you. Yes. Yes. You are not feeling, what was it? Give it to me again. You're not feeling connected. Um, yeah. Hold on. Des, I want to read that. I pulled a card for Brandon. Blessing in disguise. What appears to be a problem is actually part of your answered prayer. You understand? Yes, exactly. Thank you, Desiree, for clearing that up, because I'm pretty sure that's what just came out. Um, you okay, this is one of your test, okay? This is, even though you feel disconnected and you're not seeing the bigger picture and what you are actually capable of, he is still rooting for you. He is still pushing for you to make the decision to choose life. He is asking you to take that leap of faith in order to love him the way that he loves you, is what I'm hearing. Okay, so if you can't work on your connection with God, and all it does is takes one step, trusting, believing, even giving, and like, okay, if you ever work on meditation, and I don't know if you do, but this is something that you should really work on if you're feeling disconnected. Working on your grounding techniques, working on opening up your chakras, working on meditation brings you closer to spirit. And if you have a hard problem, like a lot of people say, I have a hard time meditating and allowing the visions to come through, it. Sorry. Okay. Your video on Aries I recently watched, recording messages from heaven. You talked about the card that said, I watch you every day, reminding me of my mom. Oh, you are so welcome, honey. I'm glad that your mom could come through on that. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with me. But yeah, so Brandon, it is okay. So sometimes the easiest way to ground is to literally walk outside barefoot. We usually have rubber soles on, which keep us disconnected from the earth. You can hug a tree. You can talk to plants. You can go outside and take a deep breath of fresh air and imagine that you're breathing in God's white light. Those are some of the easiest grounding techniques I can tell you. Meditation, breathing in white light or absorbing white light through your crown chakra and pushing all the negative residue out through the bottom of your feet. Make sure you have your shoes off. Allowing that energy to go down into the earth and recycle back through your crown chakra, and each time it filters white light, negative shit, white light, negative shit. And that's one of the easiest grounding techniques that I do when I'm doing my meditations and I really need to get rid of other people's energy. You might also be doing that too. Hi, Candace. But yeah, it's one of those things where if you're feeling disconnected, it could be because you've absorbed too many other people's energy. It could be because you're not grounding yourself, you're not meditating. If any of those resonate with you, those are things that will help you connect to spirit. But he does not want you giving up. And this is the biggest test of all, is to see how much faith you have. When you feel like giving up and you still decide to push forward, that is when you find out what you're really made of. That takes true courage. That takes true strength. And you know, it is. It's rough. Depression is rough. And empaths have this ability to attract negative people into our lives because we're fixers. And Candace, I can either channel a message for you or I can pull some cards for you. You let me know what you need, honey. But yeah, if you give up when there is dark, and you know what, Brandon, if you're still in here, I'm going to pull an energy card for you. This is from The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. It's an amazing book. You know what? And I'm glad that my guides told me to tell you. Brandon, if you are still in here, get that book. Oh, get that book, okay? Seriously, okay, so The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein, okay? It is one of the best books that I have ever read in my life. I did slack at the very end, but I read through most of it in like 2 days because it was such a good book and really helped me get out of my funk when I felt like I lost everything. Okay, Candace, I will get to you in just a second. But Brandon, what my guides have pulled out for you today is the moment I embrace my peace within and surrender, the outcome is the moment that the universe can truly get to work. The moment I embrace my peace within and surrender the outcome is the moment that the universe can truly get to work. Okay. You have to let go. You have to let God, your higher power, the universe, do its job in order to help you. And you need to also accept your demons. You have to accept that there is a shadow side of yourself. And it's one of those things where if you don't give it up, if you keep trying to control everything that is happening and you're constantly focused on the negative, you're not going to be able to see the light. So I hope that helps you, Brandon. Okay. So, Miss Candace, we are going to help you out. Is there any specific questions you have, or you just want to kind of see what comes through? I know you say you're going through
a hard time. What was that? Have been in self-destructive patterns and depression for months. Okay. So, just need clarity. All right. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Okay. Candace, um, I'm picking up on a male figure, older, possibly father, grandfather, um, who is coming through, but he feels very protective over you. Does that make any sense? Someone that has passed on. Um, I need you to shine your light. No males, really. Okay. He hasn't passed on. Does that mean that he is possibly at the end? Oh, I have a husband I'm divorcing. No, this is someone that, I mean, if it was like a case that someone was in a coma and couldn't physically speak, that could, I could be channeling someone like that, but this would be someone that is either crossed over or cannot physically speak with their body now. No. Okay. So I don't know if that's anyone else coming in for any of y'all, but let me see. Candace. Okay, Candace. Okay, I'm feeling very scattered brained right now. So what I need you to do on your end is to take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, and kind of clear your head for a moment, okay? Just ask for any guidance for clarity. Candace, I'm not sure if you have been thinking about relocating. I keep seeing somewhere with a lot of trees and greenery, very nature, um, surrounded by nature, not in a city. And yeah, I'm getting the chills all over my body right now. They're wanting, if you have been thinking about moving, it is in the right direction. If you haven't been, you might want to consider it. They're asking you to detach yourself from the negative situations that have been holding you back. And yes, Kiki, I will get to you in just a second. Um, but what I'm hearing is that you need to be able to detach yourself from the situations that are holding you back. You also need to face your fears.
Shadow work has been coming up for a lot for me as well, and that's kind of what I'm picking up on is you're not facing the things within that need to be faced in order to move in the positive direction. If you have been thinking about moving, but you haven't been thinking about dealing with these things that keep coming up in your life, you're running away from your problems. Now, they are telling me that moving distance wise from whatever the main situation is, now whether that is actually your divorce or just the environment in general around where you're based at, but if you have been feeling like I need to get out of this city or I need to get away from this or that, then you might need to take a step back, okay? But what I'm hearing most is you need to find your light again. You need to be able to figure out what it is that really makes you happy, not everyone else. You need to say, hey, this is how I want to feel, and this is what I'm willing to do to make it happen for myself. So put everyone else aside for a second and really go within. And if you're dealing with a lot of these lost issues, whenever I feel lost, I always ask myself, why? What is it that's making me feel lost? You have to take self-evaluation and figure out what patterns, what people, situations, and all these things are that are in your life that are not yes, and that's one of the biggest reasons we end up feeling lost in the first place, is because we're so focused on making other people happy, but we're not getting any of that in return. And Desiree and I were talking about this earlier. If you do not Okay. Can anyone see me or hear me now? This is getting ridiculous. What the hell? If anyone can hear or see me, please let me know. Okay, seriously. I see y'all talking. Can anyone hear or see me? Okay, thank God, Candace. Okay, thank you. Can you hear me? Okay, thank you. Great. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Brandon, I wish you the best of luck. And if you ever need to email me about advice, please email me at whispersofgrace1016@gmail.com. I can help you. Okay, we'll work something out. But yeah, so okay, where were we? Candace. Okay, listen. I find it really odd that I'm trying to channel a message for you and like my connection just completely shit out. Y'all couldn't hear or see me even though I saw y'all having conversations. So, yeah, I'm back.
I couldn't leave y'all like that. But yeah, I find it, no, it's not you cursed me. That's just what spirit does. I can't tell you how many times, like, okay, with Pisces, every time I tried to record a Pisces video, it would take me days to get their reading out because the energy was so heightened at certain points. So, yeah, it's Kiki. It is infuriating, isn't it? It's crazy how much effect spirit can have on electronics like that. And that's why I actually use this phone to record, because with how much that I actually channel on an everyday basis, my electronics can't keep up. So I have to keep one plugged in all the time and use my other one for all of my other business things. But this is basically my recording phone. If it gets down to 20%, it just shuts off. So, but so Candace, you're in such a low vibration that you're having a hard time connecting with yourself and then therefore connecting to spirit. So again, you have to figure out how you want to feel instead of numbing. Like, I saw some of your comments that you are still making bad decisions with overindulgence and that kind of thing, and giving your energy to people who don't necessarily deserve it. Yes, be positive. Find the things that you are thankful for and start there. And honestly, it's one of those things. So, you know what? Okay, I want everyone in this room, I want you to tell me, have you ever had a moment where you wondered if you were good enough or didn't love yourself because the people in your life didn't seem to love you? That human validation shit. Please let me know. If you've had that, I have an exercise for you right now, and it's going to blow your mind as how simple it is. Okay, so Kiki said yes. Yep. All right, come on. Because there's only, so far, I think 8 people in here. I'm pretty sure as, yes, exactly. Okay, so with that being what I just said, I want all of you to take this time with me right now to do this exercise. So I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, okay? Just one good one. Place your hand over your heart and say, I love you. I love you. I love you. I will never give up on you. You are amazing. You have a purpose. I love you. If you can't love yourself, how can you expect anyone to see your worth? You have to start here, baby girl. And I know, that's what I'm saying. I did too. The first time I learned about that exercise, I bawled. Yes. And that is an exercise that you should do every single day, Candace. When I went through my separation and I found out about that exercise, I'm like, I don't know if I've ever told myself, I love you. Like, really, I love you. And I had to do it for several weeks. And I mean, serious pep talks. I have been in that mirror and like, y'all, my connection's so bad. If you can hear and see me, please let me know. Yeah. And exactly. You're going to forget things that you've been through. And that's the whole reason we don't make those mistakes again. So, oh, Desiree, that's beautiful. Okay, so Desiree said last night she took a small pink candle, inscribed her name and self love, and let it burn. Yes, and also sleeping with a big rose quartz stone. That is beautiful, and that is a great idea. Desiree, I just want to say I'm so glad you're in this chat room because you're giving a lot of good advice too. But it is. If you, I have literally talked to myself with my hand on my chest. I will not give up on you, Jess. You have to be able to talk to yourself on a soul level. So you're, because I mean, we're physical beings living in a 3D reality. The soul is everlasting. It keeps moving, it keeps changing, it keeps growing, it's learning. But if we aren't able to give our soul that connection from ourselves that we're looking for from other people, you know, that's like even my trust issues. I tell everyone I don't trust anyone 100% because we're all human beings and I can't promise you're never going to piss me off or do me wrong. So, you know, the most I've ever trusted anyone, especially with my issues, is 98%. But I'm honest about that. I mean, I ain't no shame in my game because we're human. And I know that's kind of sad, but it's the truth. And I probably not everyone's going to agree with me all the time, and I might not always react the way people want me to, but I am me, and I love me, and I know my truth and my worth, and I'm not exactly where I want to be, but I am determined to find out just how bad of a bitch I can be, and only in the most positive way, of course. But yeah, I plan on making something for myself, and I don't plan on relying on anyone to get there. This is strictly on me. I have a purpose in this world, and my purpose is here to help like-minded souls on their spiritual journey. And you know, I'm not going to let anyone get in my way. Yeah. And you know what? I'm tired of being angry. I used to deal with so many toxic relationships because, you know, I felt the need to be validated by other people. And so I jumped from one toxic relationship to another. And, yeah, no, I was constantly searching for something no one could give me because I needed to give it to myself. And once I start vibrating on a higher frequency, I know with a lot of dedication and a lot of work and a lot of self-love, one day in the very, very distant future, I will attract the person that is meant to be in my life and can actually be of service and benefit to me as I am to them, and it will be an equal energy exchange. Yeah, well, that's the problem, Candace. You're dealing with narcissist. Yes, exactly. Self-love equals attractions. And you know what? Narcissist will suck the ever-living life out of you and make it seem like it's all your fault. You can't take advice from a narcissist and take that as your self-worth, honey. That is your biggest problem right there. You know they're narcissist and they're fully aware of what they're doing to you, yet you're not setting any boundaries to keep them from doing that. And yeah, I mean, oh, you know what? Yes. Um, Well, and you have the choice to change that, Candace. We all have a choice. Just because you grew up with narcissism and have been living with narcissism doesn't mean you are a narcissist and that you have to live that life. You know what? I have been this my whole life in general. Sorry, I'm getting a little warm. But to yeah, but you know what? My family too. My whole family is full of fucking drug addicts. And bad drug addicts. I used to have to chase my grandma through town because she had to go back to the hospital and get her pills that they took. I mean, seriously. Yes, it will continue if you condone it. If you keep making excuses for their narcissism behavior, it it's not going to change. You need to cut off contact. That is the only way that you can win with a narcissist. Yes, it's your life, their life. They don't have to have an effect on you. That is your choice. If you allow them in your life, they will suck the life out of you. And that's probably why you're feeling so low, because you have your mother, your aunts, your uncles. I mean, you have all these people using you, obviously an empath, and but you know what? That's the thing. You need to align yourself with people who will benefit you, okay? Don't go to the bars. Yes, you have to work on you before you can start to allow people close into your life again, Candace. You have to. This is about you and your journey, and no one can take that from you. The reason why you have lost purpose and lost direction is because you have continued to allow a narcissist and multiple narcissists to control your life and your self-worth. You can't do that anymore. This is a new day, Candace. This is a new day. This is a time for you to break away from that. Go to meditation groups. That's what happened. I ran into Bridge to Avalon right around the time that I was separating, and I aligned myself. Even if it's only one person, there's one person that I've met, Erin, and she is the most amazing mentor that I could ever ask for, and she's a great friend. And through her, I'm meeting other people who are of like mind and very good people for me. So even though, okay, I had like 20 friends I just lost because of my separation, and I went through that period too, like, oh man, all these people I care about, they don't want nothing to do with me because smear campaign, I'm a good person, and everything that was going on behind closed doors that they don't want to admit to, they turned around on me to make it look like I'm crazy because I'm not louting out my damn business. It's not their business. So, of course, they're only hearing one side of the story, and, it is what it is. If you want to believe that shit, you didn't know me in the first place, so there's a fucking door. I mean, seriously. And yeah, you need to start loving yourself, because these people have had such an impact on your life, and you're letting them control you even if they aren't in your life right now. You need to look up to your higher power, ask for forgiveness and guidance, and allow them to, okay, so affirmations, how to law of attraction. Instead of, okay, say, when we're in a really low place, what do? Lord, I don't want to feel like this anymore. I'm tired of the pain, right? Okay? It's you're still attracting the negative into your life because you're focusing on the pain. That's the problem. You have let narcissists take control over your life so much you can't even pray. Are you kidding me, Candace? Get up. Get off your butt and do something for yourself for once. Listen, okay, so I'm going to teach you a little trick about positive affirmations and law of attraction. So instead of focusing on the negative and all the pain that you, instead of focusing on the pain, when you are doing affirmations and working on law of attraction, instead of focusing on the pain, you need to say, Lord, I now allow positive and abundant relationships into my life. I now allow myself to see myself through your eyes. I now allow self-love and healing to occur. I now allow positive and abundant opportunities to come my way, and I am working on myself for when those opportunities arise. Instead of focusing on, and even, Candace, I'm hearing surrender. I can't tell you how many times I have been so low, and especially going through the separation and questioning my intuition on what I was really picking up and stuff like that. I have literally been to that point, like, Lord, I don't know what you want from me, but I am tired of this, and I ask you to guide me in the right direction. I know you are leading me. All I need is a direction. You tell me and I will jump. And I had my grandfather come in the most angelic way, to the point that my bed, I was staying at a friend's house at this time because I didn't have anywhere else to go. And my bed was shaking. I could see the white light. He came in, he took my hand. I could feel the weight on my hand. And again, don't give up, baby girl. You have so much to do. There's so much work to be done, and you have a purpose. You can trust the information. And once you learn to trust the information that is being given to you, it is one of those things that it's like a snowball effect. Once you start taking more and more steps in the positive direction, instead of letting narcissists control your life in the way that they are, things will get better, but you have to take the first step and you have to keep moving forward, okay? So, Candace, that is what I have for you. I'm so sorry you're going through all that, but I'm going to go back through some of these comments and see what I missed. Okay, so Tiff, mean people can be so evil. No matter what you give, they keep needing more. You keep giving, they will suck you dry. Letting go is hard. Yes, letting go is very hard, but it is absolutely necessary, especially when they're sucking the life out of you. And Desiree, you're right. Finding the passion for you. It's this isn't about anyone else except for your own journey, and we're all on our own personal journey. Once you realize that nothing is permanent, and that every person that comes into your life serves a purpose. When that purpose is over, they will be filtered out and new people will take hold. The problem is, and we were having this conversation earlier, is the attachment, the emotional attachment to these people. We feel that we have to hold on for dear life, because if we let this person go, there's not going to be anyone else. No, that's not true. How many people have you lost in your life and more people came in? Those people might have left too, but those people were replaced too. And it's the same thing with us. We will be replaced in other people's lives, and you know what? That's okay. It's just because they are not aligning with our purpose now. They're not going to be where we need to be on our journey in order to move forward. And that's the whole thing. We keep evolving, we're growing on a spiritual level, and the more aware we become of our spiritual journey and the things that we need to do in order to get there, it's these people will keep coming in and out. It's like the Wheel of Fortune. It just keeps going around and around and around because it's all lesson. It's all divinely led. Yeah, girl. No, seriously. I can count maybe a couple. Let's see. I have one, maybe five, and that's pushing it. I would say three strong within my group of friends that, and that number hasn't changed much over the years. It is, yeah, it's one of those things. And I just want to say, everyone in here, I am loving y'all's energy, and I'm so glad that everyone is giving information and swapping ideas on how to help each other. Like, y'all are an amazing group. I couldn't thank y'all enough. Yes. And Desiree, you know what? I'm the same way, man. I have one friend from my childhood that I have truly carried with me. I've never even had an argument with this person. And it is one of the most awesome things because I know, like, I was having this conversation with another best friend of mine because all the girls in my life are my best friends because my circle's small and these are the people I count on. And my best friend's birthday is today. So I took her flowers to work because I'm trying to make it like a tradition. I did it last year. I got to do it this year too. And I was talking to her about it, and it's like, how many people in our lives have, just come and gone. And, I'm okay with my circle being small and knowing that I can trust the people within my circle. If I feel like I can't trust those people, it was nice for the moment to have the big family and a lot of friends and people that were helpful and just very supportive, but those same people turn their backs on me very, very quickly, even though they thought I was the best thing in that situation. And, they knew exactly who I was and what I was bringing to the table. They knew I was good with those kids. They knew that I was a good homemaker. They knew I was all this stuff. But, yes, exactly. Exactly. The small circles make it harder for the snakes to get in. And that is for, oh man, that is, woo! Preach it. I'm going to use that. I might steal that from you. But yeah, it is. When you have healthy boundaries and learn to, because they were all looking for opportunity, and and it goes back to the whole narcissism thing. Narcissists are attracted to empaths, and because they're looking for people who have big hearts and want to fix and give, 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 give. They'll take you till there's nothing left. But when you have healthy boundaries set and you know your worth and you love yourself enough not to let the narcissist in, or, toxic behavior in general, even just downright petty shit, you learn to be able to recognize those red flags and act on them before it gets to the point where you're so emotionally involved. Because how many times have you dealt with a narcissist and you kept making excuses for them in the beginning during the love bombing stage, where it's, oh, you're my bestie, you're the best thing that's ever happened to me, oh my God, you're just wonderful, and then all of a sudden it's, oh, but yeah, exactly, you see the red flags, you just make excuses for them, in and they give you the small warnings, but if you were to listen to your intuition in the first place, you would realize that it is like shark bait to the narcissist. Amen. Yes, and that's what it is. You can curve them, you can block them, when you have those healthy boundaries set up, and especially when you're grounded, because when you're grounded, you're not worried about what all this is, has to do with it. It's what's here. And, oh my God, I'm getting like choked up with this. But when it comes to having those healthy boundaries and being grounded within yourself, it's a lot harder for those people who are takers. Okay, like even, I don't even know why this is coming up. So for any of you who are single, right, and attracting people into your life, how many people have been at the bar and just have had someone random come up, and especially the women in here, sorry about the guys, but have someone walk up to you and just be like, hey, da 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 da, let's go out, let's do this. And I watched this video one time about how people will approach you when they don't care about rejection. So the good people who actually approach you are scared of getting rejected. Okay, they're gonna think about, is this a good time? Is this a good way? What do I say? And all these kind of things. And the people who are so quick to approach you, so say you're out having a couple drinks with your friends, and it's like you have that lurker, right? We'll call him a lurker. And that they're kind of feeling around the bar, they're talking to everybody, and then they come and approach you and they're like, hey, let me buy you a drink, da 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 da, and you're like, okay, sure. And next thing you know, oh, let me take you out to dinner. But why? You don't know who I am or what I'm bringing to the table. And I've had people just straight up be like, oh, well, you're pretty. And what does that have to do with anything? So the people who have something to lose, and especially fear of rejection, it's one thing to have confidence in yourself, but to be cocky, those people that are so quick to walk up to you and be like, hey, let me buy you a drink, let me go buy you dinner, those are the same people that if you tell them no, they're going to go to the next girl down the bar. Okay. When you have a strong foundation and you know exactly who you are, it's going to be a lot harder for these men to approach you. And even if they do, they're not going to be able to affect you, because flattery is nothing but words, okay? When you have someone who can not only compliment you and support you in the way that you need, but actually back it up with actions, that is when you know you have a good person. And what a lot of people have to understand, especially with trust issues, is trust can always be lost. It can't always be gained back. Okay? And you need someone who is going to be consistent Yeah, no, and I'm talking about from a woman's perspective. Um, Women do that too and get mad when you ignore them. Does that really happen? Tavares? Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. But see, and again, I don't know it really from the men's perspective, but I know from the woman's perspective. I mean, I know there's a lot of shady ass women too, but yeah, and that's just ridiculous. So, okay, again, if you know where your boundaries are, okay, so we'll take it as far as, have y'all seen the gold digger videos where, they have a guy approach a really good looking girl and, they're kind of, nah, I guess more on the poor side. I guess one guy was, you know, he was dressed like he was a street cleaner or something, and the girl was totally trying to be polite, but was like not even giving him the time of day. And then he goes away and he comes back, and he's the same guy, just dressed differently, and obviously got a six pack and good clothes on and just a different outfit. And this girl's like, "Oh yeah, I'll gladly da da da," and he's like, "Hey, I got a present for you. Here's a golden shovel." I don't know if y'all have seen those videos, but that it does happen, and there are always going to be people who are looking to take advantage and are on a very shallow level. If you are wanting someone with a deep connection, you don't want to do it for shallow reasons. So you need to make sure that you know your worth enough to be able, yes, Desiree, I completely understand. Success is the best revenge. Watch me make my moves. Um, Bye, T. Okay. Yeah, they are crazy videos. And you know what? It's one of those, like, it, there are, they're very selfish, and you need to make sure that you're aligning yourself with the proper people and not doing it for shallow reasons. Yes, be, attracted to the person, but there's so much more to that. You should be attracted to them on a soul level. That's all I'm saying. So, Kiki, I'm sorry. I totally got on a rant there. Um, what do you want to know, babe? Did you want me to pull you some cards, or you want me to connect for you? Just let me know. I have the fairy deck. I have archangels. The universe has your back. Traditional tarot. Talking to heaven, or I can channel for you. But then I'm probably gonna get going here in a minute. Pull you some cards. All right. God, I must really like hanging out with y'all. It's 7:30. Right. So, Kiki, what you want to know, honey? Just was that like I just popped out? Um, it is so much more than just attraction. It is about really connecting on a soul level, and um, and that's the thing. You have to be careful too with. Um, but yeah, it's one of those, especially with narcissists, because
especially with a lot of the narcissists in my life, they knew me for a long time. So they knew what I was about. They knew what I liked. You see my friend and I being... we're going to see what's pulling out, because I have the Sun and the Two of Wands for you right now. Okay. So... okay. I'm gonna say this, okay, Kiki, and please don't take offense to this. When I was first shuffling, you had some really good cards popping out, okay? Things were looking really, really good. As soon as you asked about your friend, the Devil and the Ten of Cups were first popped out. I don't think it's going to be a healthy situation for you, and I don't think it's going to bring that emotional fulfillment that you're looking for. And especially with the Eight of Cups, this is leaving because of dissatisfaction and in search of something better. Yeah, I know, it's so bad. And there's also the Seven of Cups. This is about illusions and a lot of options, justice and balance. So just to be clear, let me, I find it interesting that as soon as you started asking about him, that's what popped out. But again, I was talking about the narcissist. When they know you for a long time, they know what you want, and it's a guy named Dag, and they're both are friends. Okay. Okay. Let me, yeah, because I'm getting a lot of confusion around that. I don't necessarily think that that's going to align properly for you. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Yeah, I'm actually going to start over with that. Okay, so you were focused on Dex, but you want to know about Aries. Let me see. I'm gonna ask. Okay, so I wonder if Dex was what was coming out. Because it, you know, especially with the Eight of Cups, that's you leaving, so you're not with him, so that wouldn't really make sense. But maybe because they're connected somehow, that's what was coming out. So I am gonna ask real quick about y'all's relationship, and if what's the course of the relationship and how that's going to turn out. So let's see. And just remember that Spirit doesn't have a time frame either. So even if I don't do time frames, if I were to tell you 3 months, Spirit, it depends on the decisions you make, and also when things align. But yeah, so let's see. Okay. Let me see their relationship, Spirit. Okay. Alright, so let's see. Alright. What is the course of... Okay. That Devil keeps popping out. If you have not cut off... If this reminds you of Dex and you have not cut off contact, you need to. Make sure that you're protecting yourself around toxic parties that are trying to keep you attached. Okay? So, alright. Kiki. Kiki and Aries. What is the course of Kiki and Aries' relationship? And what will become of their friendship? Alright. Alright. Let's see. Okay. What is your sign and his? Shit. Girl. Kiki, what's your sign, baby? I see a significant water and earth. Possibly fire. Seems like there's a lot going on, though. If you are a water sign, Libra. Okay, so you're... What the hell? Okay. Let's see. Yeah. I don't see any air sign, Scorpio. Okay, so... okay. So, the fire sign's still coming out. So Dex is still involved. And there's a lot of secrets and not putting any effort in, I see. But there's still a lack of judgment and a lot of control going on around that. Be careful, because he might still offer you some sort of emotional commitment, but it ain't real. Yeah, right. Yeah, so I do have the Queen of Cups reversed. I feel like you still have, especially the water sign keeps coming out. I have the Queen of Cups reversed and the King of Cups upright. But the thing is, like, even if you are representing, so say this is you getting, your emotions in check and really learning to set your boundaries and all that kind of stuff. Dude, what is up with all your exes coming in like that, though? Yeah. Okay. And what was... Okay. So Dex is a Sag. He's a Scorpio. Okay. So, okay. Jesus Lord. I'm trying to keep up with all these names and signs. Okay, so the water is Aries. Dex is the Sag. Okay. And Mikkel is the Virgo. Wow. Okay. So what I'm kind of getting from this is, since he is the one in question, okay, we are doing areas here, water sign. So yeah, so okay, I'm picking up that there is possibly a lot of emotional imbalance that he needs to sort out first. And honestly, I don't even know if it's necessarily going to go in that way, because there's so many other things involved. With the Knight of Pentacles, this is just very slow and steady progress. Putting a lot of effort into maybe his career, not really focused on the emotional
aspects of things, but with the King of Cups, I mean, he will be making progression with his emotions, but there's still the Eight of Cups leaving because of disappointment and needing to take a rest within. So now, whether that is him or things that you might need to still work on, but the fact that, like, you have every X popping up in the spread, I mean, cut those ties. Cut. Okay. If you haven't tried the Dorian Virtue cutting the cords, you should do it for quite some time. And Candace, that would help you as well. Now, I'm going to go back to hopeful advice and see what we can get for you besides the relationship, because I just don't think you need to be focused on your relationship right now, okay? Yes, that's exactly what I'm getting, okay? Well, and even if you haven't heard from him, he might still be getting energy supply from you. So if you don't cut those cords, then you're still supplying, okay? Okay, hopeful advice for Kiki. Okay, let's see. Well, the good thing is, you know, especially with the Seven of Wands reversed, the Three of Swords reversed, and the Three of Cups reversed. So I see that you are going through this period of enlightenment, this process of growth for yourself. You're really, I feel like you're kind of dropping your defenses a little bit, but you need to stay clear-minded. Dropping the heartache and all the manipulation, overindulgence, that kind of thing is probably going to be the best bet. Letting the tower fall. Yeah, I mean, I kind of see things all over the place. And, yes, career is going to be the biggest thing for you right now. You need to get away from the emotional attachments and feeding this energy into all these other people, because I'm seeing a lot of different people in your spreads. You need to be focused on you, plain and simple. Okay, that is what I'm getting. So, but yeah, guys, is there anything else that y'all would like to know before I get off? Because we have been on here for quite some time, but I just really want to, thank y'all for, yep. Yeah, you're gonna have to cut those cords. That's what I'm picking up too, Des. Um, but yeah, I really appreciate how awesome y'all are. This has been such a good group chat, and everyone coming together and bouncing the information and really being here for each other is exactly what I wanted today. And I'm glad that I was able to get that, especially with such a group of awesome people. So thank you so much. And I really appreciate everything that, especially for sticking out. I mean, you're so welcome. You are not the first person to tell me that, and I have always been really weird about my voice because I think I sound like a man. But a lot of people have been telling me that I should do group, like, guided meditations and stuff like that, which I am really good at, but I'm still working on the bits and pieces. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you should, because I would love for y'all to be a part of this family. And if y'all are on Facebook, you should definitely check me out, because I have a lot of good stuff going on over there and classes that you can take as well. So thank you. But yes, we will definitely have to catch up and do this again. So keep an eye out for me, and maybe we can catch each other at another time. Okay? So I love you all, and thank you so much for being such a good team today. And remember to thank your guides. Remember to love yourself, and be easy. Be easy on yourself, okay? And y'all are awesome, and you deserve happiness, and prosperous, abundant opportunities are coming your way, I promise. I love you guys, and I will be talking to you soon, okay? See you later.